let's talk about floorboards for your Indian Challenger, and I'm pretty sure Chieftain, same board. Anyway, here's your stock ones, nice and big, rubber isolated. When I went to buy these original boards, I wasn't sure what to expect. It's my first cruiser, and I was worried that I would feel vibrations coming through. Luckily, the Challenger runs so smooth that I couldn't even tell the difference between the rubber mounted and the Prior Performance boards. These are Prior Performance boards. They're made in America. Very heavy and sturdy, almost as heavy as these, a couple grams lighter over here. All billet aluminum, of course, with a billet bracket that mounts on. And you see you're kind of chamfered up there. So I had no issues with dragging these. I never drug these. You'll see from the Taylor dragging videos that the actual crash bars drug first. So these didn't have any issues with that. It is a little bit more improved ground clearance than over here on your stock ones. The issue I had with these, so I'm 5'9", fairly short legs, that when I stuck these boards on, albeit it's not a huge change, but it is a change. You'll see the base here and the base here. These boards actually sit just a little bit lower than your stock boards. So what that meant was my feet were kind of out a little bit more and lower. What that also means is for your brake lever, since your board's lower, your brake lever's high, so you have to maneuver your foot a bit more to hit your brake lever. To remedy that, you take this little piece off here and unscrew this end here, and then you can take a little die grinder or a Dremel and you just cut a couple threads off of this plunger and then put this back in, and then that allows your brake lever to come down. Even with the new boards, I just kept this because I actually like where it's at. It's not that far off where the floorboard base is, and it's really easy to, when you're riding more aggressively, to get your brake. On your shifter side, that's easy, obviously. It's just this nut, you twist this rod and it brings your shifter up or down. So that all changes with the size of boot that you wear anyway, so that's not a big deal. That's super easy to change. So back to the boards. So my buddy down in South Carolina, he owns C3vtwin, and he makes the exhausts for like the all-det custom choppers and things like that, and mainly Harley exhausts and a couple Super Chief exhausts now. So anyway, I told him the gripe I had with these: they were a bit too big, a bit too bulky, and I didn't like how they were lower. So his solution came up with these. Extremely light, like stupid light, at least half the weight of these. And then he has his brackets back here. So over here, you'll see, if you look down, you'll see that these actually are taller from your eyelet here to the base than your stock ones. So what that means is the whole board is lifted up, so your legs are actually lifted up even more. So it gives you a bit more aggressive riding position, especially for shorter people. It's great if you have longer legs. Obviously it's the route to go. The guy that's going to buy these actually is fairly tall, and that's what he's actually looking for, a way to lower his legs down. So these are going to work perfect for him. These work perfect for me. One of the reasons why I went down to South Carolina test these, he didn't have a Challenger around, and he also wanted me to throw these on the bike and ride the Dragon and see if I could drag them. Obviously I did not drag either one, and I also put about maybe 1,200 miles on these coming back from South Carolina, and I gotta say the footing position is perfect. So obviously you have grip back here and you have grip up here, so if you're riding more aggressively, you can put the heel or the arch of your foot right here. When you're cruising, put it up here. And I was very happy with the placement, especially for how small these are compared to these and compared to the stock ones. For the mount, that's what we were going down there to troubleshoot and figure out. So for the Indians, it's going to look similar to this, except down here where we have this little welded piece Allen key on here. This was a thing we just did in his garage one night to try and get these to work for the Challenger. There's going to be a milled piece that's going to come off this. It's going to be part of this. He's also going to have 2 set screws in there. So what the set screws are going to allow you to do is you can back them in and out, and you'll be able to change the angle of your board. So some people like them perfectly flat, some people like them in a little bit. So that's coming. They're gonna these should be out within a couple weeks. Boards, he already has all the boards. He has them in raw like this, and then he has anodized black finish, as well as something he might work on is, since this is all modular here, you can see this little spacer here and here. He may come out with different spacers for in here, so you can raise and lower these boards on this bracket. So if you want to even be higher and more of an aggressive stance, you can just unbolt these and pop them right on. So let's see here. We'll take this one and go over and throw it on the bike, and I'll show you the issue that we had for Indians. Oh, I was wrong. We'll use this one. So obviously installing these boards is literally a 2-minute job. One-handed job too, apparently. Let's see here. Okay, so the issue that we had, so with these mounts, when he was mocking them up, we didn't realize that it needed to rest down here. So with just these on, this board just flopping around, I mean, you could tighten this, but you could still put weight on it. So what we came up with were just these little keys here. So when it comes down, it sits there in a rest. So what's going to happen when the production model comes out, he's going to have this milled and another piece that's going to come out here. And then with the set screws, you'll be able to alter this a little bit. With just our little fix here on my road, like I said, 1,500 miles, and it was perfectly fine. But as you can see, the brake lever, it's a nice position, and they will still fold in. So if something happens, you drop your bike, these will fold in. But as it is, I'm very, very happy with these. So C3vtwin, made down in South Carolina. I will put a link in the description when he has them on his website. And I want to say they're going to be around $575, $550 shipped, which is on par with the Prior Performance, SBCs, like all the other brands. So if you're more of a performance-oriented guy and you want something much lighter, a little bit smaller, and you don't want to spend the multi-$1,000 kit to put mid controls on one of these, this is a great option. And he also has these for Harleys too, if that's your thing. It's basically the exact same board, where it's just a different engineered mount. After this video, I'll throw in a couple slideshows of some steels from Dragon, just so you can kind of see that they were nowhere touching the ground going through turns. Let me know what you think in the comments.